this into the reality. Indian ruler would accept British forces in his territory and also pay their cost of maintenance. Now you understand why we have 14 cantonments across India. During British period, we had 14 cantonments. For example, I'll give a small example. We have Secunderabad cantonment. Garrison means military garrison, military cantonment, military area. The entire Secunderabad cantonment was British Indian Army. Completely maintained by Britishers. In return, the Indian ruler will also accept a British resident in his state. So in the Indian king's court, there will be a British advisor. The Indian ruler, would not enter into any further alliance or war with any other power without permission from the Britishers. Soldiers can be Indian soldiers or British soldiers, Ganesh, however it wants. But they'll all be British soldiers, I mean, British employed, East India Company employees only, not king's employees. Salary will be paid by the king. And the Indian ruler would not employ any European other than a British. In case of any conflict, the resolution as decided by British would be accepted by to the Indian. The ruler would acknowledge East India Company as paramount power in India. Paramount means supreme power in India. I'll give you an example. Hyderabad was the first, then Mysore, then Awadh, Bengal. See, British Army, British Army, British Army, British Army, correct? If Hyderabad and Mysore both sign subsidiary alliance, no chance of Hyderabad and Mysore attacking each other. That is why these both signed. And for the Britishers, they control both. See, this is my view. You may disagree with me. I think with subsidiary alliance, I still consider Britishers to be intelligent and Indian kings to be really foolish. Whole and soul, I will blame the Indian kings only. I see consistently. If you say, nay, Nandu, if they had not fought among themselves, they would have had an option. No, why were they fighting first of all, Nandu? This came because Indian kings were fighting among themselves. No, agar jagda hi nahi tha, I mean that what were they fighting for? 2-3 villages. You know this logic that British looted us. Somehow you can disagree on this objective. British never looted us. We left our house open. We only opened our doors and we said, come, loot us, come. We will pay you for that, come. We will only pay for the car so that we will hire a lorry and give it to you. Please come. We opened our doors and we said, please, आके हमें लूटो. हम लूटने के लिए तैयार हैं. What was compulsory, Pavan? What was compulsory? Yes. No. The alliance itself was optional. Suppose Pavan, Hyderabad, Awadh, Bengal sign and Mysore does not. Don't you think Mysore will feel insecure? He will still sign. Yes. Hmm. East India Company would pledge to protect the state from external dangers and internal disorders. If the Indian ruler fails to make payments, a part of his territory would be taken away as penalty. So I'll tell you how these people did. Between 1798 to 1813, they signed a subsidiary alliance with all. Now, all Indians signed a subsidiary alliance. So no Indian kings are fighting with each other anymore. So this entire British army was used to fight wars in Afghanistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Burma, Crimean War, Sri Lanka. You get this? So Indian kings were paying Indians so that they can fight British wars abroad. And die for the Britishers. And die for the Britishers. Yes. Everything was pre-planned. Everything was pre-planned. Lord Wellesley was smart. He knew exactly what he was trying to do. The first ruler to sign the subsidiary treaty with Wellesley was Nizam of Hyderabad in September 1798. Mysore, Tanjavur, Awadh, Peshwa, Raja Bhosle of Sindhia, Jodhpur, Jaipur, Macheri, Bundi, Bharatpur. बताता हूँ listen 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 listen. You know there's a place called Jhansi. During Dalhousie's period, Jhansi also signed a subsidiary alliance. And Jhansi helped the Britishers in occupying Satara, Kanpur, etc. After occupying all her fronts, when company came to occupy Jhansi, Jhansi revolted. A typical Britisher. Ah. And many Indian kings felt this. For example, even with Jodhpur Raja, Jhansi Raja, Jodhpur Raja, these people signed a subsidiary alliance, helped Britishers in occupying all their neighbors. After occupying all the neighbors, when Britishers came to occupy them, then they revolted. Indore Holkars. Got it? This is where the problem was. Everyone. Holkars, Gaikwad, Sindhya, Peshwa, Bitur pe Peshwa, the Zamindars of Ara, Zamindar, Kuch Bihar ke Raja of Kuch Bihar, Raja Banaras. Every king did this, guys. There was no good king or bad king. No, they were not. Most of our Rajas were never really. The only guy who was a little smart was Tipu Sultan. That's why he had to die. For Britishers, that is why Tipu had to go. Because Tipu was not thinking like the Indian kings, he was thinking like the Europeans. No, that was not acceptable. That was far more dangerous.